10 money lessons boomers learned young that still shape their life choices. Boomer money wisdom is boring on purpose. Live below your means. Save first. Buy durable. Avoid toxic debt. And those steady habits, not hacks, quietly fund a freer life. Some money lessons age like fine cast iron. Simple, durable, and still useful after a few decades of hard use. Boomers didn't all grow up the same way, but a lot of them learned money habits early that still steer their choices today. Some came from necessity, some from parents who remembered ration books and layoffs, some from a culture where banks closed at 3 p.m. Credit cards weren't universal, and layaway was a verb. I'm not here to romanticize everything pre-internet, but there's real value in the playbook they kept. Here are 10 boomer-era money lessons that still show up today in what they buy, how they plan, and why their Tuesdays look calmer than ours. Live on less than you make and know the number. This one sounds almost insultingly obvious, but it's a superpower when you actually do it. Many boomers were taught to know their nut, the monthly cost to keep the lights on, and to aim below it, not just meet it. That meant choices: smaller apartment, older car, fewer dinners out, patching the jacket instead of replacing it. What still holds? A written margin. Not vibes, not "I think I'm fine." A number. When you keep a gap between income and outgo, you have options: savings, investments, or the freedom to say no to a bad job. No app does this for you unless you feed it the truth. Save first, spend later. Pay yourselves like a bill. Before auto transfers and roundup apps, people carried paychecks to the bank and physically moved money into savings. The order mattered. If you saved what was left after spending, what was left mysteriously became zero. A modern version: automate the first move. 401k, IRA, brokerage, emergency fund. So it disappears before lifestyle sees it. Boomers who kept this habit still make decisions from a place of stability. Switching roles, helping a kid, or taking a breather without panic. The order is the lesson. Buy durable, maintain it, and use it to death. Buy once, cry once has been around longer than Instagram. A lot of boomer households prized well-made stuff. Cast iron pans, sturdy tools, leather boots, because replacing junk is expensive. Maintenance was normal. Sharpen the knives, change the oil on time, resole the shoes. Why it still matters. Depreciation favors the careful. If your car lasts 12 years instead of 6, that's thousands saved, compounding into freedom. Even tiny things count. Washing sweaters in cold water and air drying extends their life. Your clothing budget suddenly stretches. I have a friend whose boomer dad gifted him a toolbox when he moved out. Inside, a note that said, "Learn 3 repairs and you'll avoid 100 bills." He wasn't wrong. Door hinge, leaky trap, wall patch. 3 small skills changed how my friend spends. Avoid debt you can't pay off quickly. And read the fine print. Credit wasn't frictionless in the 70s and 80s. People learned to see debt as a tool with teeth. Mortgage? Maybe. Student loans? Sure, but with a plan. Revolving credit at 20% APR? Treat like a lit match. Boomers who internalize this still make measured choices. They'll drive the older Corolla, skip store cards, and kill balances before they grow legs. Not because they hate fun, but because compounding interest is a polite thief. If you can't explain the APR, don't sign. Might be the most underrated personal finance rule ever. Keep cash for the inevitable rainy day. Emergencies weren't theoretical. Older relatives taught the stories. Layoffs, medical bills, broken transmissions. The advice was plain. Keep an emergency cushion. What it looks like now? 3 to 6 months of basics in something boring and accessible. Boomers who still carry this habit say yes to good risks and no to panic moves. Cash is a shock absorber. When life hits a pothole, you don't blow a tire. Cook at home. Pack a lunch. Master the cheap feast. Food inflation is new, but solution isn't. A lot of boomer homes knew a rotation of low-cost staples. Beans and rice, baked potatoes with toppings, big batch chili, Spaghetti night, breakfast for dinner. Home cooking is one of those levers that quietly compounds into thousands a year without feeling like austerity. Learn your Tuesday meal and watch your budget and stress go down. Fix lifestyle last, not first. Don't spend raises in advance. When pay went up, many boomer households raised savings first, not the car payment. They let their lifestyle lag their income on purpose. That gap becomes the engine for investing, debt payoff, or simply breathing room. Modern spin. When a raise hits, bump your retirement percentage the same day. Maybe let yourself a small treat. Celebrate, but keep your recurring expenses where they were. Future you will send a thank you note. Know the difference between price and value boomers. Boomers were good at seeing the hidden costs. Cheap shoes that hurt your back aren't cheap. A deal trip that ruins your sleep before a big week isn't a deal. They learned to pay slightly more for things that earned their keep. Reliable tools, walkable neighborhoods, decent mattresses, your teeth. This shows up now as priorities that look boring on Instagram but win in real life. Spending on health, car safety, insulation, a used but solid appliance. They'll skip the brand name hoodie and replace the HVAC filter on schedule. That choice isn't flashy. It's adult. Talk money with your partner like you're on the same team. A lot of boomer couples did envelopes and kitchen table budget nights. Not always glamorous, sometimes tense, but the habit stuck. Talk openly, pick a plan, and hold each other accountable. Modern version. Shared dashboard, calendar money dates, fun money for each person, and clearly named goals. You don't have to agree on everything, but you do have to agree on the rules. Teams beat talented individuals who never pass the ball. A friend grew up watching her parents do Sunday bills with Motown on. When she married, she kept the soundtrack and the ritual. She told me, "We argue less because the plan is weekly, not yearly." That's a boomer lesson edited for Wi-Fi. Invest early and ignore the circus. Plenty of boomers missed tech booms and still retired fine because they stayed consistent. Broad funds, periodic contributions, minimal tinkering. They learned that time in the market beats timing the market because they had jobs, kids, and no appetite to play day trader. What it means now: set an allocation you understand, automate contributions, rebalance occasionally, and turn down the volume on noise. Markets are moody. The 30-year line rewards boring people who keep going. Updating the playbook without losing the good bones. Lesson 1, updated. Track with tools, but keep a written margin target. Don't let autopay hide lifestyle creep. Lesson 2, automate savings, then audit quarterly. Adjust for seasons, higher utilities, travel. Lesson 3, buy used and high quality. Facebook Marketplace and repair cafes are today's thrift store upgrade. Lesson 4, use credit strategically. Travel cards can be worth it if you never carry a balance. Treat points like coupons, not income. Lesson 5, emergency fund plus credit line as backup. Order matters. Lesson 6, stock a cheap feast pantry. Dried beans, rice, pasta, canned tomatoes, frozen veg, aromatics. Decide your 3 go-to dinners. Lesson 7, every raise equals split between future invest and present. One small lifestyle upgrade you'll actually enjoy. Lesson 8, value includes time and health. Pay for time saving when it protects sanity. Grocery delivery in crunch weeks. Lesson 9, money date script. What came in? What went out? What surprised us? What's the one tweak this week? 30 minutes, timer on. Lesson 10, invest broadly, automate, mute the doom scroll. If you need excitement, try hobbies. Not options trading. Quick sanity checks to borrow. The boring first check. Before buying something fun, did I fund sleep, health, and safety? The 3 uses test. Will I use this at least 3 times in the next month? If not, borrow. The week later rule. Want it? Want it next week too? If yes, proceed. The future me question. Will I thank myself for this decision a year from now?